There have been 3 different people who have committed 3 different crimes over a span of 81 hours in the city of Beloit.
Right now at 10, for the 3rd time this week, a community is mourning and police are investigating a homicide. Reaction to a violent week in Beloit. That's coming up at 10. The Beloit community is remembering a 19-year-old man tonight. He was shot and killed last night in the parking lot of Memorial High School after a basketball game. Tahalil Mohadin was at the vigil at the school tonight, and we're going to have much more from Rock County in just a moment. But we do start with this video from yesterday morning as Beloit police were investigating a homicide, and it was the 2nd one this week. Officers say they found a woman stabbed to death on House Drive. And then in a news conference yesterday afternoon, Beloit's police chief told us that he's frustrated. But just 13 hours later, you're seeing the scene from that 3rd investigation into a homicide after a man was shot outside Memorial High School following a boys' basketball game against La Follette. Police say the 19-year-old was rushed to the hospital where he later died. The chief says at least 30 people were in the parking lot when the shooting happened, but no one has come forward with any information.
If that was your loved one, you would want somebody to come out and talk to you. It is absolutely ridiculous that we have 30 to 40 people who witness a young man lose his life and refuse to talk to us. The culture of the no snitching needs to stop.
We are tireless in our pursuit of justice. Please know that we are doing everything in our power to keep not only our children, but the community at large safe.
The school district of Beloit says it's fully working with this investigation. In a statement this morning, the district superintendent said violence of any kind is devastating, and the district will provide resources needed to help students and their staff through this difficult time. As a frustrated police team searches for who is responsible, folks gathered tonight to remember the young victim of last night's shooting. Tahalil Mohadin attended a vigil outside the school this afternoon.
It was a group of students, teachers, pastors, and members of the Beloit community coming together, joined in prayer and sharing messages of love.
I kind of lost it.
Pastor Kenda Roman is remembering her former student.
He was my baby.
Less than 24 hours after his death, she's offering the 19-year-old prayers and thank yous.
For being the Sunday school student that you were, thank you. For always refusing to hug me, thank you. For showing your greatness at the times you showed your greatness.
Asking those in attendance to push for change.
Dismantle what goes on in this house stays in this house, because historically what that has done is it has now just transferred into our neighborhoods, into our streets. And so now what goes on in the streets stays in the streets.
In a community where she says many are struggling, in need of help.
Racial trauma, historical trauma, complex trauma, they are suffering social emotionally.
Pastor Roman wanting to inspire others to do more.
Just do whatever it is. If they see a need, fill a need. If you see a need, fill a need. If you see a child that needs some help, help the child. It doesn't have to be your child.
Hoping for a future where they can come together to celebrate people in life more than death. Something she does every day.
When I walk into my building, they already know. They're chanting it. I hear that I'm great. I understand that I am great. So I show greatness.
Now, the young man's family was at the vigil tonight, but he has not been identified by Beloit police, so we're choosing not to identify him as well. You can stay up to date with the latest on this investigation by downloading our Channel 3000 News app. Remember, it's free and available in the App Store. All right, let's take a look outside. It is clear tonight, but there are some chances for snow later in the week. Meteorologist Austin Kopninski, he's outside and he's braving those temps with your certified most accurate forecast.
And you know, I am braving the temps tonight, but it's not as bad as what we have seen as of late, especially because we're actually hanging on to some of that additional warmth as of right now. We are going to lose a little bit more here over the next few hours. It's currently 18 degrees, but we are going to see those temperatures falling back down into the lower teens, right around 10 degrees by the early start of tomorrow morning. Now, you look at our Doppler track, and it is staying dry, just like Brad said. We just have some cloud cover overhead, and that's really what we're looking at for tonight. We're not really looking to see snowfall here for the next few days. Just a slim chance on Tuesday to see a passing rain or even a lighter snow shower, but that really won't amount to much. Temperatures currently 18 here in Madison, 21 in Janesville. The teens and 20s are widespread around the area currently, but so are the calm winds. So those temperatures that I just showed in the the screen, that's what it feels like outside. The winds really are just not whipping outside at all right now. And later on tonight, we do have a low of about 10 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies overhead, but it really won't be too bad. Another few mild days ahead of us. But what about that midweek snowstorm potential? There have been some changes to the forecast, and I'll give you all the updates coming up a little bit later on.
Thanks so much, Austin. A 16-year-old charged in the 2020 death of Anissa Scott will appear in court tomorrow morning. A pretrial conference is scheduled for Andre Brown. Brown has pleaded not guilty to 2 charges he faces in the 11-year-old's death. Jury selection for Brown's homicide trial is set to begin in July. We're still waiting to see what possible charges a man will face after a hit and run yesterday on Madison's east side. MPD says the crash on Milwaukee Street sent 1 person to the hospital, but they are expected to be okay. Officers say the suspect in this crash ran off and then armed themselves inside a house. They later turned themselves in after negotiations with police. More than a dozen people are in the hospital after a carbon monoxide leak in a hotel pool. This happened last night just outside of Columbus, Ohio. Officers say several people, including a 2-year-old, were found unconscious around the Hampton Inn's pool. 6 people are still in critical condition tonight. A tragic story tonight. A former Miss United States winner has been identified as a woman who jumped to her death today in New York. Police say 30-year-old Chelsea Christ jumped from a 60-story building this morning. She won the 2019 pageant. If you or someone you know is considering suicide, the 24-hour suicide hotline is always available at the number right at the bottom of your screen. Turning to our COVID headlines tonight, the Omicron surge might be letting up. New York City's mayor says his city is heading in the right direction.
Hospitalizations are down, COVID deaths are down, and that is because of the hard work of everyday New Yorkers that are doing the right thing around vaccinations and booster shots.
More than 75% of New York City is vaccinated, which is 11% higher than the national average. Here in Wisconsin, vaccination rates are much lower. Only 59% of people are fully vaccinated in the Badger State. Meanwhile, the 7-day average of new cases is quickly dropping. Friday's data showed the average of 7,300 new cases each day over the past week. And if you need a COVID test, the Alliant Energy Center's site is now open on weekends. Beginning this week, the site's going to be open every single day. Public Health was expecting to do this at some point in January after reopening their testing site earlier in the month. PHMDC's website has dozens of slots still available tomorrow. Just a reminder, Dane County's newest mask mandate begins on Tuesday. It will remain in place until the start of March. This week's announcement comes on the heels of several weeks of surging cases and hospitalization, and public health officials say it's too soon to say if we're past the Omicron peak.
We're still at a pretty stable high place of case activity. And we know when that happens, that's associated with likely more hospitalizations and more folks having poor outcomes. And so all those factors we look at combined.
During the most recent surge, Dane County peaked at a 7-day new case average of nearly 1,500. An update to a story we first brought you last night at 10. Spotify says it's adding a content advisory to the podcast talking about COVID-19. This comes after major artists like Neil Young said that they were leaving their platform after Spotify podcaster Joe Rogan spread anti-vaccine information. Also in entertainment tonight, another sign people are going back to the movies during the pandemic. Spider-Man No Way Home made another $11 million at the box office this weekend. That makes its domestic total at $736 million, closing in on Avatar's 3rd place spot on the all-time chart. In more local news tonight, this week, the Madison Reading Project announced a new partnership that could reach tens of thousands of families, and thousands have already signed up. Christina Laurie explains how you can, too.
Within the next 60 days, 30,000 local kids could have a brand new book in their hands if a new partnership between the Madison Reading Project and a certain Grammy-winning country superstar goes as planned.
She's won 11 Grammys and had 25 songs reach #1 on the country charts. But Dolly Parton calls the Imagination Library her biggest achievement.
When the kids get their little books, they run, they wait for their little books to come in the mail, and they always say, "It's from the book lady, it's from the book lady."
Parton launched the program in 1995.
Because of my own dad, who wasn't able to read and write.
As a way to get books in the hands of kids, one every month, from the day a child is born until they turn 5.
I just felt like that if kids can learn to read early on, they're not afraid of it, like my dad.
The very first book is this one.
Now the international program is coming to Madison.
And then after this first book, the titles are coordinated to the child's age.
And Reading Project founder Rowan Childs is understandably elated. Right now, 30,000 kids in Dane County or their parents can sign up to participate.
Our mission from the very founding has always been about providing free quality books to kids and inspiring that love of reading.
Something the project and Parton know will make a difference.
Having books mailed to children's homes is a great way to encourage reading at home and to help build home libraries.
Whatever it takes to get them to love the books and to learn to read, I'm all about that.
Now remember, all of this is free. All you have to do is sign up. We have all the information you need to do so up on our website, channel3000.com. Happy reading, everyone. In Madison, Christina Laurie, News 3 Now.
This partnership is made possible by the Roots and Wings Foundation, which is an organization that will help pay for these books. Once registered, kids can expect their first book to arrive in 60 days. All right, still ahead at 10, we're learning much more about the Pittsburgh Bridge that partially collapsed on Friday. Plus, meteorologist Dana Fulton is taking a deep dive into why experts say even colder stretches of winter, weather patterns are changing. That story and much more after the break.
The coldest January in 35 years.
Employees need to be paid and property taxes are due.
That's why Crazy Lenny is selling e-bikes at cost.
Free storage till April. Warranty starts at pickup.
The coldest January in 35 years. You'll never pay less for an e-bike.
Crazy Lenny's e-bikes.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
I was a Navy submariner for over 20 years. I spent a large portion of my life underwater. Service is about putting your country before yourself. But Senator Ron Johnson uses his office to serve himself. Ron Johnson passed a special tax break that benefited his family's business, then cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since he's been elected. That's not what service is about. Tell Ron Johnson to stop voting for tax laws that benefit himself.
This may sound strange, but you've been here before. You were here when this wrench was turned, and when this line was drawn. Oh, and when this stitch was sewn. Because you inspired the new Lexus ES to be, well, more you. So thank you. We hope you like your work.
Don't miss out on Floor & Decor's grand opening in Monona on February 7th. With our unmatched selection of tile, wood, stone, laminate, vinyl, and more, all at everyday low prices, at Floor & Decor, you'll discover the perfect products for shopping on trend and on budget, all in one stop. Plus, our helpful associates make realizing your vision easy from start to finish, so your upgrade has never been more you. Explore Floor & Decor's newest location in Monona on February 7th, or visit us online at flooranddecor.com.
Wow, the coldest January in 35 years.
Employees need to be paid and property taxes are due.
That's why Crazy Lenny is selling e-bikes at cost.
Free storage till April. Warranty starts at pickup.
The coldest January in 35 years. You'll never pay less for an e-bike.
Crazy Lenny's e-bikes.
In the 608, turns 1. Josh Breiter kicks off an amazing look back at some of the most memorable moments that have brightened our lives for the last year.
And are we still tracking some snowfall around midweek? I'll have all the updates Monday morning from 4:30 to 7.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Overall Excellence in Television.
The mayor of Pittsburgh says he will sign a declaration of disaster emergency for the next several days. The NTSB was back on the scene today investigating the site of Friday's bridge collapse. Today's declaration increases the availability of federal funds and helps speed up the reconstruction and cleanup process. On Friday, the Fern Hollow Bridge in Pittsburgh collapsed, leaving 10 people hurt. The mayor says this collapse serves as a call to action on the city's aging infrastructure. And take a look at this. This is new drone video tonight showing the aftermath of yesterday's major snowstorm in the Northeast. This video comes from Boston, and you'll see these streets and cars and buildings just covered in snow. Thousands of people in this region are still without power tonight. And here in Madison, it's been a couple of weeks of now freezing temps, so the idea of global warming probably isn't on the top of your mind. But scientists are seeing changes even in this winter, and those changes indicate some changing patterns. Meteorologist Dana Fulton dug in and found out it's just the tip of the iceberg.
A 4-degree warm-up might sound nice if you're sitting out on the ice, but for scientists, it's not comforting at all.
We have had an increase in the temperatures, both the high and the daily high temperatures and the daily low temperatures. So that's a problem.
Ed Hopkins is Wisconsin's assistant state climatologist. For the last 20 years, he's helped track the ice on and ice off dates for Lake Mendota, a record more than 160 years old.
We are purposely trying to maintain this record that is one of the longest lake ice records anywhere in North America.
When he looks back through the data,
hindsight is 20/20.
A troubling trend appears.
The time of freeze date is getting later. And the interesting thing is that the nighttime temperatures, especially in winter, are becoming higher more rapidly than the daytime temperatures.
The average freeze date in 2022 for Lake Mendota is about 5 days later than it was in 1971. The average ice cover duration down almost 24 days. And the average winter temperature now 4 degrees warmer. While this may sound like just a crack in the ice, it's actually a crack in the entire lake's structure.
And anytime you take any part of the circle out of the ecosystem, it will affect the whole ecosystem.
The cold weather is like a reset button for our lakes. It allows certain plants and fish to die off or go dormant. Without it, some plants can grow for too long, blocking out other plants, certain fish, and bringing too much nutrients to the water. It throws off the entire cycle.
Outside of all the problems that causes for the ecosystem, this is a big moneymaker for our area. Maybe you're not into ice boating, maybe you don't own one, but it draws people to the lake.
With a city built entirely around lakes, any small change in the water cycle could ripple through the economy. Ripples felt even when the water is frozen. For News 3 Now, I'm Dana Fulton.
We have more information on climate change and the data collected by the State Climatology Office on our website, channel3000.com. Well, Austin, I know you're really passionate about this as well, so I just wanted to give you a chance to kind of talk about Dana's reporting tonight.
It was fantastic, first of all, and the content that she reported on, it's very serious business, because what that really translates for us and what that means is larger, more potent storms, just like what we ended up seeing move through the northeastern area yesterday. Not so much here in Wisconsin, but those stronger, powerful storms are becoming more common, unfortunately. Temperatures are rising, and that just adds much more moisture into the atmosphere. So that's really what we're watching out for. Right now outside, mostly cloudy skies, and that's what we're going to see tonight. It's really not going to be a bad night overall. Temperatures are going to drop down into the lower teens, but that's just about it. Monday and Tuesday, it's going to be mild. We're looking at the lower to upper 30s for most of both of those days. We could even touch on the lower 40s on Tuesday. Now, we're going to stay dry into the early part of this next week. Just some smaller chances for some showers here and there, but that midweek storm, we've really seen some changes with that system, and if you're a snow lover, they're not great changes. It is dipping down to the south. Current Doppler track does look fine, so we're not going to see that snowfall here over the next few days. We are going to see some cloud cover for tonight. Temperatures will fall back down here into those lower teens, but by the afternoon, with some sunshine, we're going to see the upper 20s and lower 30s returning. It'll feel great outside, but by the time we actually do jump into Tuesday. Much of the same, quite a bit of some cloud cover, even warmer temperatures, some upper 30s and possibly lower 40s here and there. Also, towards the afternoon on Tuesday, a very slim potential to actually see a passing rain shower, maybe even a snow shower, but for the most part, that is not going to cause any issues. The future track, speaking of issues, there's going to be a lot of them in Illinois, but not so much here in southern Wisconsin. I do still think there is a potential to see a few flurries, maybe some lighter snow showers for a few of our southern communities, totaling up to a few tenths of an inch here and there, but the real accumulation is going to be in central and north central Illinois as of right now. So if you are planning on traveling down to Chicago at some point this next week, I would say Tuesday morning is going to be that best bet, because by the time you reach that afternoon and Wednesday, then you're going to see quite a bit of some snowfall falling. But here locally, just our southern communities could end up seeing a few flurries or some snow showers here and there, but it looks like this one isn't going to slam right into us. So we're not going to get hit by the big one this time around, but it is going to cool down our temperatures. Wednesday's high, 19 degrees. We're going to see the lower teens returning here on Thursday, but now with less snowfall expected, the recovery is going to be a little bit quicker here towards the end of the forecast, leaving us with middle and even upper 20s and a potential for some low 30s here and there. So that's getting me excited here and there. Not quite seeing too many snowfall chances. After we get through this midweek chance, then there's really just not much else in the forecast other than that cool down and a subsequent warm up. So we're really looking pretty calm here in the end of this forecast. If that holds, I think that's going to be a pretty nice stretch of weather that I think we deserve after what we've seen the last few weeks.
Yes, we deserve it. And 38 is going to feel like almost shorts weather. I feel like we got to get the suntan lotion out there, man.
Oof, I know a lot of people will probably actually be suntanning whenever it's 40 degrees for the first time in a while. So I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to judge you either. Go for it.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
We will take it. Thanks so much, Austin. Short rest did not stop Johnny Davis or the Badgers from putting on a show at the Kohl Center this afternoon. Highlights of the border battle are coming up next in sports.
3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sheesh Raval with the Ortho Team Clinic at Stoughton Health. We hope you can join us for our upcoming event on treatment of knee arthritis and custom knee replacements.
Some traditions just keep getting better and better. Ford F-Series, the official truck of the NFL and America's best-selling trucks 44 years and counting. Now get a built Ford Tough F-150 with 0.9% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash. Only at your local Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
Dinosaur Adventure roars into Madison. One weekend only. Alliant Energy Center. With life-size dinosaurs and massive family fun. Experience the thrill of the prehistoric age. Featuring the ferocious T-Rex, Triceratops, Velociraptor, and more. Go on a realistic fossil dig. Take a ride on your favorite dinosaur. Bounce around in the prehistoric playground. And a baby dinosaur meet and greet. Take an amazing dinosaur adventure. February 5th and 6th. Alliant Energy Center. Tickets at dinosauradventure.com.
Supply chain backlogs, inflation, agitation.
Here's an idea. If we make things here in America, supply chain issues won't be a thing anymore. That's exactly how we built the Bucks Arena, by having 80% of the materials come from Wisconsin. We did the same by paying higher wages. That's how you know, as your senator, I'll get things done. Raising people's wages, make things in America, finally stand up to China. I'm Alex Lazary, and I approve this message because it's time to put more money in the pockets of working people.
Join Planet Fitness today for zero enrollment. Zero. Like a bagel. And it's only $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Bagels are awesome.
Enjoy tons of equipment for zero enrollment.
Zero enrollment?
And $10 a month.
That makes me so happy.
You know what else will make you happy? Blowing off steam in our judgment-free zone. But the part that'll really get you going is that post-workout high. Look at that glow.
Oh, it's all natural.
It's this place, I tell you. Feel Fit-tacular in 2022 for zero enrollment, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends February 2nd.
Dear Jack Frost, people say you've got ice in your veins. But underneath it all, you're just a big old softie. Go ahead, try to nip at our toes. Thanks to our available Remote Connect, We'll be toasty and warm and ready to go. Warm wishes, Toyota Cars.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, a 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
I love being an orthopedic surgeon because I can help people improve their lives. My name is Ashish Raval. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. My specialty is sports medicine, focusing specifically on the care of the shoulder, hip, and knee.
Wisconsin. After picking up a win in Nebraska on Thursday, the Badgers return home for the first installment of the border battle. And while they hold a significant advantage in recent years, the Gophers lead the all-time series, but that's just by one game. So Wisconsin with a pretty balanced attack early on, dominating in the paint. Tyler Wall takes the tip and goes off the glass. The Badgers also doing well from distance. Brad Davison nails his third three of the first half, well behind the arc. But the Gophers, they start to catch up in the second half. This game ends up getting tied up at 60, but it's Johnny Davis who answers with back-to-back buckets to help put this game away. Wisconsin wins 66-60, and Davis finishes with 16 points, a career-high 15 boards, while Davison also scored double digits. UW is now 10-1 in games that are decided by 6 points or less.
I was just thinking getting a bucket at all costs. You know, at that point in the game, you know, every bucket's crucial, so I just made sure I delivered.
He's the best player in the country, so good. I don't know if it's a safety net or just being really good at basketball, but we'll take it. So when the game's on the line, we have a lot of confidence in him to make the right decision, and whether it's to go get a bucket or find somebody or get a stop, it's definitely a good. We're really thankful to have him on our team. He does a lot of good things.
And the Badgers hit the road again to take on 24th ranked Illinois. Both teams sit atop the Big Ten standings. Game is set for Wednesday at 8. And it's a border battle double feature. The women's team was in Minneapolis earlier. Late game rally comes up short, though. The Badgers fall 57-55. Sydney Hilliard led the team with 14 points. Now the Badgers return home to host 23rd ranked Iowa on Thursday. Tip-off is set for 6:30. The Bucks have done a pretty good job at defending home court this season. 18-8 record in their last 4 contests at home ended in wins. That's until tonight. The Nuggets keeping it close early on Pat Connaughton on the reverse to stretch out that lead. But out of those first few minutes, the Bucks start playing catch-up for the rest of the game. Giannis closing up the scoring before heading into halftime. Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon, they're just too much for the Deer. 136-100 the final. And it's official, Luke Getsy is heading to the Bears to be their offensive coordinator. Getsy has 15 seasons of coaching experience, and all of his time in the pros have been spent with the green and gold. The last 3 seasons, Getsy served as the quarterback's coach. Now, if you want a shot at Super Bowl 56, you gotta survive Championship Sunday. So in the NFC, a battle of Cali. Like all the playoff games this year, it comes down to the wire. Matt Gay comes in clutch for LA. 2 late game field goals gives the Rams the lead, and an interception of Jimmy G seals the deal. Matthew Stafford earns his first Super Bowl bid. And earlier, the AFC Championship. After being down 21-3, Joe Burrow and company come back, tie it up. This game ends up heading to overtime, tied at 24, and that's where Patrick Mahomes gets picked off. Evan McPherson capitalizes for the Bengals, and they are Super Bowl bound for the first time in over 30 years. We'll be right back.
Presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, carefully knead dough. Step 2, artfully spread sauce. Step 3, add fresh mozzarella and assemble toppings. Step 4, realize we already did all that for you, so all you have to do is bake it. Right now, get the fan-favorite Cowboy pizza with pepperoni, sausage, black olives, and mushrooms on our original crust. Order online at papamurphys.com. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. Meet new friends or reconnect with some old ones and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Step into the new with a new Chevy. Very well qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy vehicles. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $750 bonus cash. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
We all love reading the magazine, but did you know there's additional exclusive Madison Magazine content here on channel3000.com? Click on Madison Magazine for timely food stories and blogs on the local food scene that don't appear in the magazine. Find arts and entertainment and interesting Madisonians. There are featured columnists and online extras like photo galleries and videos. Channel 3000 and Madison Magazine. Together, they're your one source for all things Madison.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Every day, News 3 Now investigates.
Now pronounce you husband and wife.
Some true love. Yesterday was a day that had been circled on the calendar for more than a year for Adam and Sally Arujo, and the Rhode Island couple did not let yesterday's major snowstorms in the Northeast put their special day in jeopardy. The couple says putting it together in the snow wasn't actually that hard because most of their vendors ended up still being available. I don't know, Austin. Would you have gone on with the plans yesterday?
You know, being a meteorologist, I'm sure a lot of people would think like, oh, wouldn't that be awesome? You'd love that. But
it's a dream.
I would want to just do it inside where it's 72 degrees and nice. But hey, respect. I gotta give them all the respect in the world. It was a nasty storm that moved through the Northeast yesterday. But tonight, we're not going to see a nasty storm, just some cloud cover and a low of about 10 degrees.
All right, thanks so much. Good night, everyone.